Yeah, I can see the comments. No, we're not being held hostage.
All right, welcome to yours truly. My name is Tina.
And I'm Mohammed.
This is our podcast from us to you, and this is our first episode. We really hope you like it.
Yeah, this is a show where nothing is off limits. We're going to try to learn some new things, but also have some fun at the same time. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, and join in on our shenanigans.
Yeah, so first things first, we won't be filming like this every single time. We're really working on our studio right now, so give us some time. So you guys really will be watching us grow as the podcast goes on.
Yeah, I can see the comments. No, we're not being held hostage. We just got some stuff coming in, all right? Like, chill, Karen. Don't be mean.
So we decided that our first episode, we would kind of just explain what yours truly is about and why we started off, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like we said earlier, my name is Tina. I am one of the hosts of Yours Truly, and I'm actually the person that decided to create this wonderful podcast.
I thought of the name.
He did think of the name. But so why we started Yours Truly. And if you are wondering why we are both looking down, it's because we have our notes right here. So if we're glazing down, that's the reason why. We're just both very forgetful people, so we really need to see what we gotta say next. But the reason why I decided to start Yours Truly is because I just feel like me and him have very interesting conversations. We talk about very difficult topics, very controversial topics, very out there type of topics that I feel like, I don't know.
They're not the conversations you want to have with mom?
Yeah, pretty much. And we are really good at communicating with each other, I feel like. And we always try to bring out different sides to whatever topic that we're talking about or to our conversation, even if it's not completely what we agree with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted, just because of how we talk to each other and how well we communicate with each other, I feel like I wanted to document it, I guess you could say. And I wanted to build a community of people that maybe have the same mindset that we do, that are willing and open to talk about different topics and different ideas. Of course, it won't always be super serious topics. We also want this podcast to be very fun and airy, right? But yeah.
With that being said, there are going to be some heavy topics, and we will have trigger warnings on every episode that is like that. But just keep in mind that this is going to be one of those shows where things can get a little bit dicey. But really, one of the things we really want to focus on is having the ability to put yourself in other people's shoes. So on those conversations that we're having that are a little bit more controversial or very divisive, I feel like it's really important that you are able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and understand your opposition, because you'll find that you're probably not really opposition. You're just people that were brought up differently, and just see the world a little bit differently. And so the better you can understand that other person, whether it's your parents, your friends, your coworker, someone across the aisle of your political spectrum or religion, the better, even if you don't necessarily agree with them, if you can understand them a little bit better, you can really make some progress and and be able to close the gap of that divisive gap that we've created as society. And to really do that, you have to find information that really opposes what you believe. We all catch ourselves doing it. We believe something, and we go find something that validates what we already believe to be true. And anything that opposes that, we completely write it off, or we get upset, or we try to deny it in whatever way possible. But if you purposely try to look out for information that opposes what you believe, then you're really on your way to growing as a person, because for one, you can strengthen your idea if you're really that passionate about it and you're really that sure that's correct. But also you have the ability to be more open-minded and be more flexible in the type of conversations that you can have with everybody. And you really start to grow and become more of a compassionate, caring person when you're not so headstrong on one certain belief. that it causes you to hurt other people.
And on that note, of course, because, we want this community to be a place and this podcast to be a place where we want our listeners to join us in our conversations and join us on the topics that we talk about. And because of that, there's obviously going to be people that don't fully agree with you, and there's going to be people that are going to try to cause a lot of hate. And the one thing that we do ask is that we want this platform and we want this podcast to be a safe place for everybody. Even if we don't fully agree with your side or fully agree with your idea, we won't judge you, obviously.
We welcome it.
We welcome it. We want you to challenge us on your idea and really give us like a different side of your story. That's what we really pride on, is that we really care about everybody's side and that we want to understand you better, understand the side that you are holding a lot better, of course. So on that note, like, we do ask our listeners to really be mindful that you might not fully agree with what others have to say. You might not fully respect their ideas. We want this to be a safe place. Of course, we don't want anyone to be hurt. We don't want you to bash on anybody else and anybody's idea. We just ask that you take the time to read what they have to say and take it in, consider it, and let it challenge your mind, like he said. So on that note of, this not being completely super headstrong, like super serious podcast, we do want you to leave us suggestions for topics, for questions, whatever it is that you want us to talk about. We want our podcast to be very direct to our listeners and to our fans, because this podcast is, as we said in our intro, from us to you. We want this to be all about our listeners, and we're just kind of a platform for you to really listen to a side of a story or a question that has been itching you pretty much. So yeah,
let's have some fun. Let's grow together. Let's challenge ourselves to be better people.
And we want you to watch us grow, but we also want us to grow with you. So enjoy what we have to offer, and we really hope that we can make you guys proud.
We have a Patreon.
We do have a Patreon.
We know you got that STEMI check.
We do have a Patreon, and if you guys would love to support us, I will link down our Patreon. I'll also link down our Instagram, our Facebook, and all that fun stuff. This podcast will be on Spotify, on YouTube, because there'll be a video version. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, you can see our faces, and it will be on YouTube. I will
try to add some subtitles in there too. Make sure everyone's included.
Right. Like I said, this podcast is from us to you, so we want to make sure that all of our listeners, everybody is included. So if you have any suggestions that you want for us to fix, like our audio or camera work or whatever, we'll try our best to fix it. But please be mindful that we are kind of starting this podcast with minimal things, and we're going to slowly grow. So the Patreon is there for you to help us. We're kidding, but yeah, thank you for joining us on yours truly. That is it for today. So good evening,
good night,
farewell, yours truly.